Hey, welcome back to Grow Moringa. Check us out. We've got a little bit of daylight left. We're out here in the field getting ready to get the last bit of greens on the trees here for the year. And thankfully I have lots of Moringa tea available for you. This is our #1 best-selling product of all time is Moringa tea. And inside each one of these tea boxes comes lots and lots of tea baggies. You can see each one of these baggies here actually has 3 reusable tea bags inside. And you can grab yourself a Moringa mint tea box today. We took the Moringa loose leaf and a little bit of mint and added it into each one of the baggies. Grab your Moringa mint tea today so that way you can avoid getting sick this holiday season. It's coming straight from the farm to you. I am your Moringa farmer, and I love coming out here to get fresh Moringa leaves. And this is our last bit of greens that we're going to get for the year. This is our last row, the last row that we have not harvested right here. In about a month, maybe 2 months. You can see the greens, super green. Super green. Yeah, we'll probably end up getting, maybe even a kilo, maybe 2 kilos worth of greens off of these trees. So let's go ahead and watch the sun go down here at Grow Moringa Farms while we harvest some of these beautiful moringa trees. Can we sit this in here? Yes, we can. I like to put up a little display for the trees here. Beautiful. So we're just really going to grab little bits of greens, and what I'll do is I'll go through them once we get them washed up, and we'll pull any yellows, of course, off and discard any yellows. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm really popping all the tops. It's been really cold actually here these last couple days, so we're just going to try to get as many greens as we can off the trees. Oh, hey, Ming Ming. We've been calling her Lily. Hey, Lily. She's like a little white flower. She's got amazing eyes. Yeah, she's a sweetie. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. Yes. She follows me out here everywhere I go. So let's go ahead and get these greens. I want to show you how to harvest your trees. Look, we even had some frost damage already. So we'll just go ahead and discard that. And really we want to pull anything off that's growing into the middle, especially something like this. Actually, I brought that back. You can see, this is about maybe 10 inches or so, maybe a foot, because it's not really like going too far into the middle. It's kind of coming a little bit further out, and maybe this could shoot out this way versus say like cutting it back here. Then you're not really leaving any opportunity for any shoots to come back out. Now, this one is really going into the middle. This one's really just going right into this one. So I'm definitely going to pull this one off completely. That's going into the middle. This is going into the middle. These are all going into the middle. So we're definitely just going to pull those off like that. And we'll just bring these back short. And anything that's kind of like dangling and hanging off, and some greens that are hanging off here, we're also going to just go ahead and pull off. We're pretty much going to thin out most of these trees now. You can see the rest of the field that we pretty much got all the other 50 or so trees cut back. This little baby here is starting to come back a little bit. She's got a few greens. We can grab a few greens from her. Just little popping tops. Right now with the cold weather, just keeping the trees short compacted is really the goal. What I've learned over the years is actually the longer that you let it stretch, it gives it more opportunity for a frost to start creeping in, and it'll freeze inside this stick here. It'll travel down, the water will freeze inside here, and it begins to travel down. But if you cut it where it's thicker, it has a harder time to freeze and push down. So there's actually a lot less loss by cutting the trees back short, especially during winter. See how I just kind of took this one completely off? This one was just going right into the other one here, and just went ahead and popped that one completely off at the base. So some of them I leave some distance, you know, like this one, like the one that we just kind of cut back here, right here. This one we left some distance, versus sometimes we may come all the way back to the stem. This was one of the first rows that I planted here. And this row is doing really, really well. These trees are getting real thick. This is some of the mulch that got dropped down first on the property. So I'm standing on, you know, before it was like 2 feet of mulch. Then in over a year, it went down about a foot. So we're probably standing on about a foot of mulch. If we come over here, you can't really see it too much just because of the grass. Now I'm down kind of towards the level of the ground. There's been no mulch dropped here, and actually I didn't even have a chance on this row to even pull up some little pieces of plastic that are still just in this little area right here. But I was able to get all the plastic up from the tree straight down and over, making sure that I'm not planting any moringa trees on plastic for sure. We want the roots to go all the way down to the ground. We want them to touch the mama, touch mama's energy. So we're just gonna keep grabbing little greens here before the sun goes down. And these will be dried in about a week. We have a few more orders left, a few big orders left that we're still filling. There are some people that are just waiting on large kilo orders, like we have an order for 5 kilos of loose leaf. And we pretty much got out like 30 orders today. I was a little bit behind, and I was just waiting for some of the greens to dry and making sure we had all the materials made. We're good now, but I've been keeping really good communication with everybody. If you send me an email, we@growmoringa.com, I usually get back to you. In case you're wondering where your order is or what's going on, just know that I am your farmer and I'm taking very good care of you. I just don't have the items, you know, sitting on a shelf that are made. So sometimes when you order with me, it could take 1 to 2 weeks for the order to really even get processed and sent to you. Especially now during wintertime, so it could take a little bit longer because the trees are starting to grow a little bit slower. But we have other items on the shop that we're doing really well with. Like we have plenty of like tea boxes. You know, we have about 50 of these tea boxes made right now, ready to go. So these will go out fast. It's just when somebody orders like, you know, a kilo of loose leaf or like 5 kilos of powder or loose leaf, that really puts, you know, a little bit of a strain on our operation, just because we're getting going. We're really just getting the wheels turning now. We were able to probably fill a couple hundred kilos worth of orders this year. This has definitely been our best year yet. Every year it just gets better and better and better. I get better, I get smarter, I'm training better, I'm processing a lot better. I also am just getting better at marketing and advertising and spending time in the members area. I'm getting better at just communicating and teaching. I spoke at the permaculture convergence a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, and that really just helped me see some of the things that I do when I speak, and just practicing makes perfect. And so now here I'm coming into my 6th, 7th year of Moringa, growing Moringa, talking Moringa, being in the Moringa space. And I'm really just feeling like I'm just getting started, honestly. I feel like I finally have like an understanding of business for the first time. So if you're really just getting into the Moringa business and you're getting frustrated, your trees are dying, just know that it could take a little bit of time, some practice, getting some one-on-one coaching from me, getting into our collective, to learn all of these little intricacies that come up. Like right now, we have a lot of people asking about how to store their cuttings and their sticks over wintertime. And I have a really good way of actually storing sticks, is actually just getting a stick like this in a bin with sand, and then laying it on the sand, and then just covering that with a lid. You can come back to that a month, 2, 3 months later, and it is still moist enough, and it's sprouting roots. See how I just kind of just pulled this one off right at the base? Because there's already 2. This one was kind of coming into this one. I really like this one. And so I just didn't want to crowd even this one. And so we're creating more openness. See how this tree is really open down the middle? It's because I structured it that way. They don't just look like this naturally. Naturally, they may be long and lanky and skinny, or even looking a little wonky. And so that's why it's good to have a little bit of a practice of harvesting and trimming your trees, because they'll get shorter and bushier and produce a lot more greens for you. See a little bit of frost damage I can see. I mean, it got down probably into the 40s last night. So some of these leaves are beginning to really spot out. So I really just want to grab everything before the winter is really fully in place. Here in Plant City, where I'm at, zone 9B, a lot of people ask me what zone I'm in and where I am. I'm in Plant City, zone 9B. It still gets a frost. We had frost on the neighbor's roof this morning. And so that's usually an indicator for me as to how cold it is. And I did wake up with some frost on the neighbor's roof. So I was like, oh crap, let me get out here, because 2 nights of that, 3 nights of that, we've probably had maybe 4 nights already of frost on the neighbor's roof. And look, I mean, the greens are still really, really green. I can start to tell though, they're not summer greens. And so I really only like to ship green powder, for human consumption, really, really green powder. But, some people will ship brown powder for human consumption. And winter greens, and even just we'll dry the greens outside, and it's just not as much of a human consumption type of product. Now, there is a product that we are selling and making at a USDA certified organic farm that's much more for plant consumption and animal consumption. And it's a big, huge facility. It's USDA certified organic, and that's where we're able to source a lot of our biostimulants, which essentially is moringa powder, but much more of like the whole tree, and even drying it in a way that allows more production and things to be done faster, while still preserving the minerals and the vitamins. Some vitamins and minerals, especially those that go into the ground, they're not as sensitive to heat, and so they can take a little bit more of a drying process. So there's just different ways to process things for the purpose of things. Oh, hey, scratching the trees up. Lily, she's just hanging with us. See how this is kind of just really crowded right here? What I'm going to do here is definitely bring this one back all the way. Definitely going to bring this one back all the way, just because those two are just going into each other here. That really opened that up a little bit. This is just coming into the middle here, so we just pulled that all the way back. But then we're just trimming these really green tips, trimming them back, popping tops. Mostly if we pop tops right now, you know, you never know. It could warm up. I find that sometimes it's weird. It's like, it'll be really cold in November, which we didn't really have a lot of cold in November. Most of the cold has started to come now in December. But it could be really cold in November, and then it's not cold until like March, February or March. And so we may have another month to 2 months where it's not even that cold, and that could allow the trees to really come back and bush back out. Yeah. Okay. Getting some of these greens. Beautiful. Yeah, we're almost pretty much done. Like I said, this might be about, at the end of the day, once this dries a full barrel, this might end up being about 1 kilo or so worth of greens, which would be super helpful right now because we have a few more orders to finish out. For the rest of the remaining winter season, we're going to start really focusing on oil. Oil is a good one for cracking skin. If you have cracking skin or eczema, we'll really be talking a lot more about the oil over the wintertime. The wintertime for us is really just kind of starting right now. This really feels like wintertime right now. I have a sweater on, 2 sweaters on. It's been hot, cold for the last couple weeks. And so let's see, this one's definitely, even like this whole entire one right here is coming into the middle. So what I'm going to do, see if I can get a shot. So the rule is to come down low and to start harvesting low. So that way you can see what I'm doing here. So I'll get some of these back. Get some of this back here. Okay, so really what I want to do is, let's see here, I'll get down low so you can see here. I'm going to score this whole thing. So I'm going to go all the way around because it's big. So I'm just going to go all the way around. I'm just going to score it, right? Now what that does is allows it to really snap off really easy. Boom, just like that. See that? And so that really opened up this middle channel right here. Got to have that openness for health, keeping the bugs really off the trees, keeps the ants from really getting into the middle. Every time we come out to a tree, just like to get any of the stuffs off. There's a little straggler right there. Get that trimmed back. There, open this up. There we go. Just to kind of really clean up the base. That prevents any kind of ants or bugs or anything really just living in this dark, wet area. That can cause the tree to really rot, especially in the summertime. So just having this kind of maintenance every time you come out, harvest your trees, saying, hey girl, you looking good. You looking good, girlfriend. She'll vibe up. She'll throw some more vitamins and nutrients into the greens for you. Yeah. Yes. Nice. Really loving how these trees are looking. This is about 2 years worth of growth. The first 2 years that I was here, really was building the soil. I actually planted some of this field out about 2 years ago, And then the frosts took them out. And then I had to replant them about 2 years ago. And now they're just now starting to come back. So even though I've been here now, really made 4 years in November, the first year was really cleanup. The second year was soil and mulch. The third year was really just getting everything in. Now we're in the fourth year, and things you can see are starting to really thicken up. I've got some really, really nice big trees here. Look at this big girl here. Just 2 years in the operation, and we've been able to supply lots of greens, lots of orders. I really don't like to process as much. I like to just have the least amount of process as possible. We have a lot of people asking for like supplements and capsules right now, but it's just really a lot of extra labor and work and cost. And so we do really well with tea, loose leaf. You know, as a business, you want to find what works for you, because then there may be someone who just buys in powder and makes capsules all day. But for me, I'm much more now getting into, say, like the wholesale side of it. Now that I have a farm, I have a little bit of a supply, to be able to begin offering more larger bulk orders for a cheaper price for people. So I'm just moving into the industry, learning how to navigate this business, this Moringa business. Okay, we got this big mama right here. Whew, okay, this is probably one of the last ones, but wow, she's got beautiful red stems. Look at that. Look at that beautiful red stem there. Wow. Thank you, Miss Moringa. I really love the red stem, so any of these red stem trees, see I'm scoring all the way around there before I snap it. That way, it's nice and clean cut. You don't really have any running bark, because especially right now with the winter, some of that being exposed could travel down and really damage. I'm really trying to keep these trees as tall as I can throughout the winter. Now, one of the things that I could do is, if I know that a frost is really imminent, I could come out here and cover these trees, like really get them back. You know, like really get all these extra limbs off, just get it back to like the base, and I could drape it with special material. I'm not really like that. I just, if it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it comes back, she was meant to be. You know, I'm in a place that's not that severe where the trees will come back. They will come back. It's like all of these trees here died back to the ground this past winter, and everything that you see, like this is since April. This is a growth since April, believe it or not. This tree was completely damaged in April, so this is like 10 months, not 8 months, where it was damaged right down here. It was damaged right down here. And then this popped up, this popped up, this popped up, this popped up as little shoots. And so I kept them. And that's what this tree ended up turning into. Beautiful. I'm just getting her brought back pretty short, getting really any of these extra just branchy limbs here that are just extra right now. She's probably gonna, oh, see how I damaged that right there? So I'm gonna go ahead and just bring that back all the way. It's okay, if you make a mistake, you can always fix it. You can always bring it back. She's always gonna come back. Right, baby? She's always providing abundance. Thank you, Miss Moringa. Thank you for all your love and support and vitamins and minerals, helping us stay healthy, especially during this time when the weather is so up and down. People have a lot of sinus issues right now. immune system compromising conditions. So just make sure that you get as much of this tea as you can in your system. And that's pretty much it. We did it. See the difference of this tree here? This tree doesn't have any dark limbs. There's no red stems at all. And these greens are a little bit different. Say like this red stem versus this, right? So the greens, they're not too different, but you can just see very slightly the conditions of a red stem versus a green stem. And I've tested the taste, and I just feel like the red stem ones are just a little bit more desirable, a little bit more fuller, not as sensitive. They just have that deep, dark melanin magic. It's really like beta carotene, that extra red in there. Supposedly some people say that it comes from the Canary Islands or the Red Islands. I got our turmeric. Oh, Miss Mulberry made it. Got our turmeric over here, pretty much calling it the end of the season over here. This is doing really well. Probably going to pull some of these out pretty soon. I'd love to see that. You see that, Lily? Yeah. Isn't that cool? She's like a little bobcat. She's like a little raccoon. She's got this beautiful little tail here. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Welcome back. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the Grow Moringa YouTube channel and like this video. If you learned something today, if you enjoyed hanging with me for a few moments, pretty much going to get these back washed up. Boom. And that's pretty much a day. Thanks so much for watching and joining us. You'll get yourselves some fresh moringa tea. I really hope that you do before the new year. Let's go ahead and grab that, bring that back. It's like little greens like this that the frozen water will get in. It'll come, it'll travel, and it'll hit all the way down. It'll just get all the way down to where all of this blackens out. And it's just no good. All right. All right. A little bit of popping tops, getting all the tops popped like that. I think that'll be good. Let's take a look real quick to see what like 2 to 3 weeks worth of no touchy looks like. You can see the greens are starting to come back even on these trees. Right? Even with last night, I don't really see too much damage. I mean, if we don't end up getting another cold snap, it would be beautiful. These trees could be well bushed back out. Let me go ahead and just pull these ones all the way back because they're just like sitting down here like this. There we go. We don't really need these extra little wankers. trimming. So like just little stuff like this where we can end up coming back after a couple weeks and just end up getting stuff like this. So here has been about 2-3 weeks of growth. It's been really slow. It doesn't even really look any different than the one that we just harvested, except that they're really starting to have some bushes. Now, it took 2 weeks to get to this, but 2 weeks from now, they could be boom, out. If we don't end up getting any frost damage. See, like this. This is definitely some frost damage right there. But looks like these still might make it, still might come out. Didn't really get any, like if it really gets down to like 30 degrees, it's really going to be troublesome. But here, okay, this is beautiful. This is good. This is good to see. Wow, a little bit of cold damage here Boom, see, like I haven't touched this tree in about a month. And she's bushing back out nice. Yeah, I didn't really want to hit these too hard yet because I know the frost is coming soon. Let's just go for it. Let's just bring this one back all the way low. And we'll bring this one all the way back low. Like I said, it's going to help protect them from frosting all the way down to the base. Okay, we're good. We're good, Lily. Yep, she's my little cat companion. Nice little set of greens. Grab yourself a moringa tea so we can have ourselves a little tea time. Thanks y'all so much for coming in today. Peace, love, and prosperous growing from Grow Moringa. Love y'all.